Hello there. Greetings and hello there to all my Star Wars children, boys and girls, cats and dogs, men and women, grandchildren and grandpires, and all of you out there. Hello. I've got the question lately. It's been a really good question to ask. You know, with the Krayt Dragon raid coming on board, and I've got it here. We can zoom in a little bit. So the Krayt Dragon raid is coming up here soon, and in April. We're told it's gonna be here in April. And the question has been asked to me several times: should I start farming for the Krayt Dragon raid? Meaning, my roster isn't quite ready. I need to get my Hutt Cartel or my Jawas or Mandalorians or Old Republic or Tuskens. They aren't quite ready for a raid. So should I start farming for that raid? And when we think about, you know, past raids like the Challenge Rancor. Well, most recently the Challenge Rancor, you had to have Relic 5 characters for it. We look at the current Rise of the Empire Territory Battle, you need like Relic 7, 8, 9 characters to play in that. So that's the question before us today. Should you farm? Should you specifically start farming Hutt Cartel, Jawa, Mandalorian, Old Republic, or Tuskens for the Krayt Dragon raid? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my roster and talk about it a little bit. But before I get too deep into it, there's a pretty basic answer. Maybe I'll lose a bunch of you right now, but here's the basic answer. No. Well, a little dry cough. No. You shouldn't start farming for a raid that's not out yet. We know how this works. We know how Capital Games works, right? They say something's going to work a certain way, it comes out, it doesn't work a certain way, they have to nerf it, they have to buff it, they have to fix it, they gotta tweak it. I mean, it's been going on, forever, but I really think of like the Executor as kind of the start of this whole thing. Like the Executor came out, and immediately, like day one, Arnold gets on his stream, a bunch of other players get out there, and they're just blowing it away with Home One, like blowing it away. This is before we had Kyle Katarn's ship and Dash Rendar, and this is what the basic Home One lineup: Biston, Biggs, Millennium Falcon. The Executor never stood a chance, so they said we're aware of it, we're gonna go ahead and buff it, and they added something. I don't remember what it was. It was something about. It was something in there to prevent the Rebel ships from going first and taking off and running the world, right? And ever since then, it seems like every ship we get, every character we get, every new thing we get, it comes out, it's working in some way, and oh, it's not working as intended. We're gonna relook at that and buff it or nerf it, and sometimes I leave it alone. But yeah, it just happens a lot. So that's my first warning here is, and you can see right here, my Jawas aren't ready, right? My Jawas aren't ready for nothing. My first warning is, hey, CG says that it's going to be Tuskens and Jawas and Old Republic and Mandalorians, and that's fine, but we don't really know how it's going to work even with those factions involved. So we got to be careful. We got to be careful when we're looking at, if you want to start leveling up your Mandalorians right now, and I actually got Jango Fett in there, Bo-Katan's coming. Beskar Mando is coming, man. I'm actually working on these actively right now, just for other stuff. Bo-Katan I'm working on for Jedi Master Kenobi. Jango Fett's already done for Jedi Master Kenobi. Beskar Mando, I got to gear up for my Executor fleet that I just unlocked, you know, this month. The Mandalorian is on my list of stuff to gear up so that I can start using him in his annihilate, it's not annihilate, his disintegrate ability. And then I'm not working on a fifth one. I'll have Maul in 6 months. So here's the thing, and I've got 3, you know, I've got my classic, the Old Republic that I yell at everybody about to have. I've got them. But maybe I need Zalbar mission. You don't know. You don't know yet. Now, here's what I'd like you to trust. There are a lot of players in the game who are whales and krakens who have been in the game for a long time, maybe even dolphins who've been around for a long time, who have almost this entire Mandalorian faction active and ready and up and running. They've got almost or the complete Old Republic. They got relics across the board here. They got relic Jawas, they got relic Tuskens, they got their Hutt Cartel done because they've got Jabba. If you don't have these teams farmed up to their max yet, just hold off. You know, I'm not saying you don't need these teams. Obviously, we need a Hutt Cartel team, right? You need to get a Hutt Cartel team because Jabba is really, really important. I made a video about it. I've made comments about it all the time. I talk about it. Java is really important in the game, so HUD Cartel is really important, and HUD Cartel is used in the Krayt Dragon Raid. And it only goes to fulfill logic that Jabba the Hutt's team was probably going to be the best performing team in the Krayt Dragon Raid. We don't know that. And again, neither does CG until they put it out there and somebody puts together some theory crafted team that's got a team that's, you know, led by Jedi Knight Revan, and it's got Jolie Bindo in there, but then they mix in Mob Enforcer and Kersantin, and then they throw in Jawa Scavenger to boot, and that's the team that solos the entire raid. I don't know. And that's the thing, guys. We don't know. We know the teams that CG says are going to be required, and those will be the required. Like, you got to have those teams, only those teams. Do you have to use them only as a team? I don't know. Maybe you can mix and match. Maybe there's a mix and match in there that would work really well that we haven't thought about yet, or we don't know. Maybe you can't. Maybe you have to use 5 Jawas. Maybe you have to use 5 we just don't. There are too many unknowns. You know, what is it? What is it? The only thing we know is that there are the unknown is the unknown things. What did Donald Rumsfeld say before he got us into a war we shouldn't have been in? Donald Rumsfeld. Unknowns. Unknown unknowns. There are unknown unknowns, right? And that's the thing. Okay, that's the thing with the Krayt Drag. It's the thing with anything coming up, you know. It's why I don't get into a lot of these kit speculations for new characters. Say, oh, this character's gonna change the game, and then the character drops, and they didn't change the game. And it seemed like they would, but they didn't, because whatever. There are too many unknown unknowns. You don't even know what you don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't know what you don't know. And what I mean is, we have no idea about the things that we need to know for the Krayt Dragon Raid to work, because nobody's played it yet. Nobody has played it yet. So what I'm saying is, if you're not an endgame player, if you're sitting here with a roster similar to mine, where you don't really have Jawas, you don't really have Tuskens, you've got a solid Old Republic team that, you know, with Jedi Knight Revan that you've been using out there with the Jedi, but you haven't upgraded Canderous or Karth. You got Zalbar missions sitting at gear 12. You might have a Juhani in there for your Star Killer team. Maybe you've got a Mandalorian team that's kind of filled out, but maybe not. Guys, it's entirely possible that like Gar Saxon and Imperial Super Commando are like the characters you need for this raid, because they're going to be the characters. Think about it. The characters, they like to make you use the characters that aren't really good at stuff right now. So they may make it so that Gar Saxon and Imperial Super Commando come out, and they're the guys you need Relic 7 for this raid to work well, right? So just hold off on your roster. Now, if you're already farming some of these characters, like I'm already farming some of the Mandalorians, I'm farming Bo-Katan, I'm farming Beskar Mando and Mando, don't stop doing that. I mean, don't change what you're doing. But don't go out and specifically farm a team that you're thinking might help you in the Krayt Dragon Raid, okay? Let some of the whales and krakens, let the experienced players who've been here for a long time, I guarantee you, the first time the raid launches, we're gonna know 80% of what we need to know. There'll be another 20% to come later. We're gonna know, Arnold will put out a video, his guild went through it, Arnold will be out there streaming it day one, he's gonna use all the teams against it, he's gonna show you some stuff, he's gonna think of some things, he's a really good theory. So just hold on to your rosters right now. If you wanna hoard a bunch of gear and hoard a bunch of whatever for it, do that. Hoard your gear, hold on to it. I can't do that because right now I'm farming Jedi Master Kenobi, and I'm planning on having him in April, so probably by the time the Krayt Dragon Raids comes out, I'll just be activating Jedi Master Kenobi and Commander Ahsoka, and I'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens. So, there you go, guys. Don't farm specifically for the Krayt Dragon Raid. In general, in Galaxy of Heroes, I'd say in any game you play, don't farm ahead for stuff that they say is coming, because you just don't know what it's going to be until it gets here. Now, if you're a Kraken, crack away. Go for it. The rest of us can wait and see what the Krakens tell us when the stuff launches. And there you go. Those are my thoughts. Let me know. Am I way off base here? Maybe I'm missing something I'm not aware of, but tell me what you think about should you farm specifically for the Krayt Dragon Raid? I'd love to hear it. Guys, I'll talk to you soon. Always remember, Nooch too good.